For weeks, viewers and fans of The Five have been confused by Greg Gutfeld's conspicuous absence. Many individuals have speculated about various causes for his abrupt absence, including health issues and legal conflicts. The circumstances behind his abduction have finally been confirmed by Fox News. Could you tell me how long he would be gone and what is the specific cause behind his absence? Join us as we delve into the shocking details of Greg Gutfeld's sudden departure and the future of the beloved host. Much anticipation surrounds Gutfeld's late-night show, which has been, without fail, the most popular late-night program in terms of total viewers. Not only that, he's a cast member of The Five, the most-watched show on the most popular cable network. He might be the most famous person in the cable news industry for this. He is undeniably one of the funniest persons on the planet, even though his co-host on The Five, Jesse Waters, is a formidable opponent. Actually, it's more of an acknowledgement of the brand than a complaint. This is the quality for which Gutfeld is most known. When someone famously doesn't appear on television for an extended period of time, fans naturally start to wonder what's up. Has he been fired, or is something else happening in his life? Although this is a common occurrence in both regional and national television news, in the case of Gutfeld, do you honestly imagine that such a famous figure would be fired? The world is so full of surprises that practically anything can happen here. Allow me to share some surprising details about Greg's life before we get into the true cause of his absence. Do you think you can guess the answer before we tell it to you? Fox News, a conservative cable news network, has featured Greg Gutfeld's reporting for over 10 years. People who watch Fox News regularly recognize his shows because of this. Greg began his career in 2007 as a contributor and was later chosen to host the network's satirical midnight show, Red Eye. His politically incorrect comedic career started at that venue, where he also gained a loyal following of insomniacs. According to his joke in the Daily Beast, his target demographic included meth addicts, overactive bladders, and breastfeeding mothers. In addition to providing late-night entertainment, Gutfeld had other things to do while working at Fox News. As one of 5 regular panelists, Gutfeld offered his often skewed take on the day's news on The Five, a daily panel show that daytime viewers also saw him bring his contrarian opinions to. Daytime viewers saw him on Red Eye and The Five, where he voiced opposing ideas. Viewers who follow Greg Gutfeld are well informed about his political leanings, which lean toward libertarianism. Remember that he wasn't always a naturally conservative man. Gutfeld reflected on his liberal days as a youngster in a 2009 interview with Reason. He had just begun to describe the moment he realized he was a total lie. His political views started to take shape throughout his time at university, especially while he was a student at the notoriously left-wing Berkeley campus. According to his comment, "I became a conservative by being around liberals, and I became a libertarian by being around conservatives," which suggests that his political leanings have been influenced by his individualist tendencies. You realize that there is something distinctly in common between the two groups, the left and the right. The worst part of each of them is the moralizing. Greg Gutfeld began his career in magazine journalism after graduating from college, working for the conservative publication The American Spectator. Gutfeld worked as an editor for Men's Health, Stuff, and Maxim's British edition after a failed screenwriting attempt, as pointed out by Profile and Reason. He also worked for Stuff and Men's Health. The magazine industry would be a fertile ground for Gutfeld's career. Even Gutfeld admitted that his irreverent point of view wasn't well suited to his role as editor of Men's Health, in contrast to more provocative men's magazines like Stuff and Maxim. His piece, titled "I Smoke and I Work at Men's Health," had him claim, "I was the only editor of any health magazine that did a feature on how smoking is good for you. The reason behind this claim was the publication that published his remark. During his time on Red Eye, Greg Gutfeld frequently stirred more controversy than he had bargained for, with his tendency to make absurd claims in an effort to gain attention. Similar circumstances occurred in an episode where he ridiculed Canada's military involvement in Afghanistan. As CBC News noted, Gutfeld was reportedly addressing a recent declaration regarding the potential need for a year of rehabilitation time for the Canadian military following the end of the country's military engagement in Afghanistan. Gutfeld said that this would indicate the Canadian military was planning to take a vacation to do yoga, paint landscapes, and run on the beach in beautiful white capri pants. Many Canadians, including the country's defense minister at the time, Peter Mackay, took to social media to express their disgust at Gutfeld's joke. The comments made by Gutfeld were criticized by Mackay as being cruss, insensitive, and in fact, disgusting. Gutfeld subsequently apologized, clarifying that his joke was not meant to belittle the soldiers' efforts. However, I realize that my words may have been misunderstood. It was not my intent to disrespect the brave men, women, and families of the Canadian military, and for that, I apologize. Incarcerating Canada was only one of many controversial comments made by Greg Gutfeld. On his blog, The Daily Gut, he voiced his thoughts in 2010 about the plan to build a mosque and community center for Muslims on the site of the former Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan. According to Gutfeld, he planned to build and open the first gay bar in the world next to the mosque, serving gay men from all over the world, not only those in the West, but also those in Islamic nations. They have every right to build the mosque, in my view, as a U.S. citizen. After all, who can stop them if they buy the land and follow the rules? I have decided to do the same thing in the spirit of outreach, so I guess that's why, he explained his decision. This was not a joke, according to Gutfeld, who also noted that Islam frowns upon homosexuality. For this very purpose, he was setting up the bar. However, he insisted that reducing homophobia and other hurdles was his primary goal in the Islamic world. When asked about his thoughts on the so-called cancel culture, Greg Gutfeld was forthright. He spoke frankly on the dangers of social media in an interview with Outkick. This is because it provides a forum where anyone may voice their foolish views, some of which could prove to be harmful in the long run. In spite of the fact that Gutfeld may see Twitter more as a promotional tool than a digital soapbox, he is still not afraid to voice his opinions whenever he feels the need. Aside from the scandals that have dogged Greg professionally, his marital status has also been a topic of discussion for quite some time. Greg Gutfeld has spent his entire career on Fox News, where he airs his fiery and colorful political views, including his own show, Gutfeld. However, the public does not generally know the truth about Gutfeld's personal life. Included in this group is his marriage to the Russian picture editor and stylist Elena Musa, who is more than 20 years his junior. In contrast, Musa regularly uploaded photos of his wife to Instagram. However, he hasn't done so since the year 2021. On Instagram, Musa hardly ever mentions Gutfeld. Photos still didn't reveal much about their relationship. Unless in the past year, how many times have you gone to his YouTube channel and been struck by how immoral he is about some of the topics he discusses on his show? Gutfeld opted to share images of his family on informal trips and lunch dates, instead of photos of his relationship with his family. The 5 co-hosts made an exception in March 2022. Given Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Gutfeld revealed that his mother-in-law was stuck in the nation and detailed his efforts to rescue her. Maybe by tomorrow or the next day, she will be with her daughter, and it's because of those guys who work for Fox News. He congratulated his co-workers who had helped his family, if not today, then tomorrow. 2 months later, at his mother-in-law's celebration, we got a rare glimpse into the inner workings of his whole family, with the comment, Happy Mother's Day to Elena's mom. Thanks for creating the best thing in my life. He shared an Instagram photo from May of 2021. Even though they are so much older than each other, Greg Gutfeld and Elena Moose's friendship has persisted. Fox News co-workers helped Greg Gutfeld celebrate his 60th birthday in 2024. Gutfeld was born in September 1964. Even though Elena Musa turned 42 years old, a much younger age, she celebrated her birthday just 2 weeks before. Taking into account the duration of Gutfeld and Musa's relationship, this suggests that they are nearly 18 years apart, which is a considerable age difference. They were married in a civil ceremony in New York in late 2004. At the tender ages of 22 and 40, respectively. It seems like there would be no issues with the age gap right from the start, Greg told me. When I saw her, I said to the editor of Maxim Russia, "Who is this woman?" They were married after waiting 5 months. Musa eventually turned her attention to fashion design, earning a degree in 2017 from Parsons School of Design. And I foolishly hit on her for what seemed like 3 days. While pursuing her education, she amassed a collection of theatrical turbans, which served as an investigation of the interplay between paper and fabric. Many people noticed the pair's relationship because of how consistent it is and how low-key it is. Greg and Elena's marriage has remained strong despite the intense public interest in and criticism of celebrity marriages. The fact that they can keep their private lives out of the public eye while simultaneously supporting each other's jobs is very remarkable. In contrast, Greg's remarks regarding marriage, whether on his program or in interviews, often incorporate his hilarious and outspoken approach. On occasion, Greg has shown his whimsical disposition by recounting hilarious and lighthearted anecdotes about his marital life. These examples highlight a beloved aspect of Greg's character, his emphasis on the lighter side of relationships and his tendency not to take himself too seriously. Now that we're back to Greg's mysterious disappearance, have you any ideas as to what might have happened? Greg Gutfeld's long absence from his shows, especially The Five, has sparked speculation regarding his location. There is a lot of speculation among fans as to whether the famous host has been fired from Fox News. Nobody on the network has paid any attention to Greg's disappearance because he is a major draw for them. Fans flock to see him on the network because of his incisive remarks and hilarious antics. His extended absence has sparked rumors that he could be involved in a problem that could lead to his dismissal from his job. According to fans of the show, he may have taken a vacation because of an argument that happened behind the scenes, or a disagreement with the show's content. Several have hinted that Greg could be following a precedent at Fox, which has a history of removing prominent personalities like Tucker Carlson and Bill O'Reilly when they're in the middle of crises. Even more so, Greg's absence from The Five has added fuel to the fire, as his co-hosts have kept the show airing while discussing important political, social, and economic issues. While the show maintains its dynamism without Greg, many are still wondering what happened because of the huge void he left in the show. His controversial and outspoken views have gotten him into trouble on occasion, and some of his fans have speculated that his sudden disappearance could be due to a similar occurrence. There is no evidence to suggest that Greg Gutfeld has been fired from his position at Fox News, despite the many claims that are circulating. Truthfully, he just updated X on his Fox comedy show, which airs on the network as well. Outside of the chat room, folks, we do want to be clear on the timeline. His continued involvement with the network is suggested by the fact that he included details about the show's most recent guests in the message. Many fans were relieved to hear in this update that Greg is probably only on vacation and won't face any serious punishment. Another thing Greg has done well in his media career is build rapport with his viewers and the network. He has become an essential part of Fox's cast due to his eccentric sense of humor and flair. He is so popular that it's hard to see the network deciding to part ways with him without announcing it to the public. Fox and the prominent host it has fired in the past have both made public remarks to address the issue whenever the network has done so. What exactly kept Greg from showing up to the meeting remains a mystery. The cause might be anything as innocuous as a planned vacation, something more serious, or even unreported health. There is insufficient proof to back the notion that he has been fired, leaving his fans to speculate in the absence of concrete information. Viewers will have to hold tight until either Greg comes back or the host or the network officially explains everything. Speculations that he will be dismissed are unfounded, and it appears that his absence will be transitory for the time being. The most widely held belief is that Greg needed a break to focus on his own well-being and mental health, while there are other possible explanations. Working in a prominent media environment comes with a lot of responsibility, so it would be understandable if Greg decided to take a break to focus on himself and get some sleep. A lot of famous people have decided to prioritize their own mental health in recent years, and the subject of mental health has become more popular. Viewers have shown their support for the idea that Greg might be taking a break to deal with stress or personal issues, similar to other celebrities who have come clean about their struggles with mental health. Carrie Fisher writes, "His mental health filled his mind during the COVID pandemic. He called it off, and he's doing better." An additional argument that has been advanced is the possibility that Greg is not present due to illness. An undiagnosed health issue may have been plaguing him, according to several of his fans. However, there has been no recent news reports or coverage suggesting that Greg has been unwell, so this explanation seems less credible. I must point out, however, that Greg has never expressed any interest in playing me, much less discussing our character later on the show. Since he has refrained from making any public statements on his health, many believe that the media or the network would have surely made such a statement public if he were sick. Everyone was surprised to learn that Greg's absence was actually due to a pleasant surprise that turned out to be relevant to the problem. The shocking revelation about Greg Gutfeld's sudden exit from Fox News has now been revealed, shocking viewers to no end. The fact that Gutfeld, who was 60 years old at the time, became a parent surprised many. A co-host of The Five, Dana Perino, made the announcement during last week's episode. The editor said they needed to have "normal people" as the title of the special for the mere fact of Kayla. In an interview with reporters, Perino revealed something that would come as a pleasant surprise to many. You might have noticed that our friend Greg Gutfeld hasn't been here for a couple of weeks, and it's for a good reason. This is a statement that he sent me today, so I'm reading this as if I'm Greg. "It is with great joy that my wife Elena and I have welcomed a baby girl into the world. Marina is healthy with a real set of lungs." In typical fashion, Greg's announcement included a touch of humor. "She has Elena's beautiful eyes and my rock-hard abs. We are hard at work teaching her 3 languages and putting her through rigorous workout routines." Also, he reportedly couldn't help but poke fun at fellow presenter Jesse Watters. According to him, she is already very observant and has asked if Jesse wears a toupee. "I told her that he definitely wears a wig." And Greg included additional clues in his message. He also posted the personal update online where he joked about his French bulldog as a way to end the article. The news was also spread on his personal blog. "As you can understand, we value our privacy, and we thank everyone for the good wishes. And now I have to go stop Gus from licking her face." In their own special ways, the 5 hosts congratulated Gutfeld. While fans were gushing over his revelation, a few were caught unawares by the unexpected announcement. "We are there in spirit," Perino said, "just not changing diapers." Waters added, "We are enjoying the time without you. Take as long as you want. I never saw that coming." Another Twitter user expressed horror, adding, "Literally the very last thing I thought his absence would be about. What a pleasant surprise. I forgive him for being gone now. It was the exact opposite of what anyone had expected. Has the news reached you?" "Just heard the news. Surprised but happy for them." "Wow," was the comment of another contributor. While Greg oversaw the UK version of Maxim magazine from 2004 to 2006, Elena began her career as an image editor for the same magazine in London, where they began their romance. Maxim magazine for women was formed in 1956. In an effort to celebrate the holiday season with his 541,000 Instagram followers, the Fox News star took to the platform on Christmas Day. He started by posting a cute photo of his beloved French bulldog Gus relaxing on the couch. Additionally, Greg added, "As usual, he got me nothing for Christmas, although he left something that looks like coal in the middle of the living room." Once the real reason behind Greg's absence was revealed, fans of the show couldn't wait for him to come back. A lot of people in the US are wondering where Greg is. Well, the mystery has been solved. Greg Gutfeld, the beloved host of The Greg Gutfeld Show, will not be returning to Fox News until January 2025, said Kat Tim, who was acting as a guest host.